Hello and welcome back to Conquering the JavaScript Interview. In this session, we're flipping arrays on their head with the reverse method. It's an in-place powerhouse that's going to be, well, inverting the order of our array elements. So if you're ready to turn things around, check the description down below for a link to our community membership. For $25 a month, you're going to get access to not only our Discord, where you can interact with me and the other Covalence staff to get help on your coding journey. You can also request videos for YouTube here, and you're going to get access, more importantly, to all of our courses and any future courses I or anyone else at Covalence decide to make. So you're going to get access right away to our front end and back end courses. When combined, make our entire full stack program, and you have a standalone React course that I've made that takes you from zero to hero that I try and keep up to date at all times. So if you have interest in that, check the description down below. Otherwise, let's explore the wonders of reverse. It's been around and flipping array flipping array elements since its introduction with ECMAScript 1 back in 1997. I swear I did not pick this string of old school methods. Like I said in previous videos, had no clue that a lot of these have been around for as long as they have, so I think it's pretty dang awesome. Anyway, this is a great one to have in your arsenal, and you no doubtly have used it before. As a matter of fact, just like the join method I did in a previous video, this reverse method is something I used back like in my first video on string reverse, where I did a split reverse join buffoonery, shenanigans, whatever you want to call it, to reverse a string to show how easy it is to approach algorithms like that when you have a lot of tools in your arsenal, for better or worse. Again, the implications of using only methods is fun discussion for your interview. But the point is, it's a good one to know, and it's actually really cool to know how to implement yourself. If you look further back in my algorithm and data structure Conquering the JavaScript series, I do touch upon some common ways of sorting and reversing arrays. So you're actually going to see some similar techniques in this video to swap array elements like we did in some of our sort algorithms. So yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward on the purpose of the reverse method, so I'm not going to talk about its usage, but I'm going to break down its algorithm steps so we can mentally prepare to start writing some code here. We're going to be taking an array. We're going to start from both ends of the array and swap elements in place and move towards the center. So this is 2 pointers that are going to be moving towards the center, which is a lot like some of our sorts we've done in the past. We're going to continue that process of swapping in elements in place and continuing to the center until we reach the middle of the array. And then now the original array is mutated in reverse order. And that's a big keyword to keep in mind for this method. It mutates the original array. So we're not going to be making any kind of shallow copy and returning it. So that's what we're going to be going for in this video. And as always, we do have this prompt available, and we'll have the code available in a CODEPEN if you want to copy paste it and study it along with my video and trying to understand it, or if you want to just grab the prompt for your own coding and then try to implement it yourself and then watch my video. Whatever y'all have been doing or do to learn this stuff, go for it. But I do advise you try and get your hands on writing it first, even if you don't get it at all, and just copying what I wrote rather than copy and paste it, right? Writing it yourself, like I said before, it's good for your muscle memory, and it's good for your brain to kind of see what you're writing and to kind of internalize these things, right? So I have some test prompts we're going to work with here in just a moment. I have my little VS Code window open and ready to go. And as always, we're going to start by messing with the array object prototypes by adding our custom reverse method onto it. Like I say in every video, this is good to know how to do for interviews and technical problems. It's something you probably shouldn't do in an actual code base, because messing with these array prototypes on array instances is going to be not a good idea, right? You're going to be introducing random methods that don't normally exist to confuse other developers. So this one will not be taking any arguments. This is just going to be a function we invoke on an array. And remember, the keyword this inside of JavaScript gets its value from the thing furthest to the left is the way you think about it. So the keyword this will be grabbing its value from every array, like I say in all these videos. So like I said, we're going to have to be navigating an undetermined number of times from the ends towards the center. I guess technically that is determined. But the point being, rather than doing a traditional for loop, I'm going to actually be doing a while loop. This is something you'll see more along our sort videos as well, where I have a start point, which, surprise, will be at the start of the array. I'm going to be having an endpoint, which will be the length -1, which is the final index position right there. And what we're going to be doing is simply looping through the array elements so long as our start and end haven't crisscrossed each other yet. So until they become equal or cross each other, which technically will never happen, but as long as they keep approaching each other, it's going to keep swapping elements, and until it gets to an equal or greater value, it will then stop because we have gotten to the center of the array, whether that is an element itself or just two elements adjacent to each other, like in an even array rather than an odd array. So that's all we got to do. We have to simply swap these elements. Now, we know that while we swap things around, I have to get one of the values and put them into a temporary storage variable. Because if I start at the beginning and end, and I take the end value and move it to the start, and if I didn't copy the start value, I have reassigned that value at the start and I've lost it. So what I have to do is I need to choose to store one of those values in a temporary variable. We're going to call that temp and say, get the element at the start of this swap and copy its value for now. That way I don't lose it when I'm about to reassign it or replace it right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, the new starting value will be whatever is at the end in this in-place swap. After that is done, I now have the end at the beginning. So now I have to put the beginning from the temporary holder to the end. So we're going to say, hey, the end will now be whatever I have being held in temp, and that's it. That will be the in-place swap. Classic stuff here. If you are a beginner or newbie here, learning and getting wise to the temp variable to hold like a copy while you swap some things around is a very, very common operation. So get used to seeing it. You've seen it many times if you've followed along with this algorithm and data structure series so far. So and obviously we have to move our 2 pointers inwards until we get to the middle. So the start will increment by 1, the end will decrement by 1, and they'll do so evenly every single time, and it will simply, we'll move in, swap those two, move the pointers in, swap the values, move the pointers in, swap the values, move the pointers in, swap the values, until we get to the middle, where they will either become equal or greater than, and then boom, we are no longer looping because everything has been swapped. Now, because we are doing this to the array itself, remember this is a mutative in-place swap, we need to simply return the array after it has been reversed. And that should about wrap it up for this little guy right here. So let's check it out. Let's go grab a console log and try to reverse this sucker. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the first one, the classic combination to my luggage, an array value of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to run my custom reverse method on it, save the file, and voila, we get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as expected. That's what I like to see there, folks. Yeah, that is good stuff, and we can confirm this is, yeah, that's fine. And yeah, let's go ahead and grab our array. Let's grab the reverse one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to swap these two. We're going to make the return be the correct sentence. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. La pièce de résistance. We're going to grab this input array and run our custom reverse. When it is reversed, we get this as a sentence as the array right there. That's what I like to see. Yeah, we already reversed an array of strings, so forget it. Let's go ahead and grab this one. I mean, null and undefined. We don't have any kind of condition or short circuits or anything we have to worry about other than start and end for truthiness and falsiness, or any kind of like comparison or evaluation. So hopefully and expectedly, we don't see any reason why our null and undefined should be causing any kind of error or issue. We should get 5, undefined, 3, null, 1, which is exactly what we get there in the console log. So it looks like we have succeeded on this little here algorithm, our own implementation of the reverse method and how it might be working under the hood. So obviously in data ordering or backtracking anything where you have like algorithms that require revisiting previous elements in like a reverse order, it could be really useful to know how to do this without, if they were like, for example, not allowed to use a reverse method. Which after we've done join, we've done reverse, I might as well show y'all some string methods like split. And that way, if we know split, reverse, join, we can write our own from total scratch version of the cheesy solution from the very first video I did on string reverse. We could write it completely from scratch, our own implementations of all those methods. I think that might be pretty cool to do. But yeah, other things that are important for reversing are stack operations, for example. If you have an order of operations in a stack where the last should be first, important to know how to do. Remember, this is a mutative method. It's important. It mutates the original array, so that could have some unexpected side effects if you're not careful and you don't keep that in mind when you're reversing your stuff out there. And as always, anything that's a super ginormous, gigantic array, you're going to have some inefficiencies. It's efficient algorithm because, again, like having to reindex a bunch. Well, actually, we're not reindexing stuff. We're swapping values. You're going to have a noticeable cost in time and processing if you have a ginormous array. That's kind of like, duh, that's going to be happening with any kind of gigantic array in a lot of these methods here, but it's an in-place operation, another keyword I've been throwing out a lot. So it's generally it's generally fast and memory efficient. We're not making a new array here. We're simply modifying an existing array, so there's no additional growing variable, for example. So yeah, thanks for flipping through this session of the array reverse method. Hopefully this deep dive and exploration of these JavaScript array methods in my little Array Architects mini-series here continues to equip y'all with techniques to manipulate and manage data effectively. So if you've enjoyed this adventure, make sure you do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that fun stuff, and again, get involved in our community and let me know what kind of videos you're hungry for. Heck, even in the comments down below, let me know what you're looking for and we'll try and make some content for it. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.